y'all, it's Hope at Crafty Hope, and I have shared with y'all a video before on how I darken brass and copper hardware store wire, and I thought I'd share what I do when I have dark annealed steel wire. This is another hardware store purchase. This one's a 19 gauge, and my process is similar, but I take out the darkening pretty much. Just like the other ones, I pull out a good little length of the wire, you know, just over a foot or so. That way it can, I can work with it easier. I clipped this because this was 19 gauge with some pretty heavy duty wire cutters, but if I had a thinner gauge, it wouldn't be a big deal. Now, the big thing with the dark annealed steel is that it, the dark anneal stuff tends to rub off on your hand, so I don't want to sell jewelry that has that on it. So my big thing that I do is I clean it. I take soft cloth, and this one's actually, this brand is not so bad. I've got some other brands that are just horribly goopy, but I tend to just go ahead and take a soft cloth. I find that socks and t-shirts work great for this, and I'm just going to wipe these down to make sure any of that that darkened stuff that's on there comes off. And like I said, this one's really good. I've got some that's really like hard to touch. It just, everything, it's just really goopy. So once I get these wiped down, I'm going to go ahead and maybe move some of these off. The process is really easy. I'm going to take, again, the same kind of soft cloth, some kind of t-shirt or sock or whatever, and use a paste wax. Renaissance wax works, or I like to use this Johnson's paste wax because I can get a whole lot of it at one time. I'm just going to get another little piece of shirt or whatever and just put a little bit on the cloth and then rub my wire through it. Now, what this does with the darkened annealed steel is it kind of seals any of that blackness that's on there, and it also hopefully keeps that steel from rusting, because you don't want it, I mean, you may want it to rust, but I kind of don't want it, you know, if I've designed it a certain way, I don't want it to turn out a different way. Now, I'm going to rub that on there and put it aside for a minute, and I tend to, you know, like you saw my little stack here, I'll do one little stack at a time and go through my whole stack. Once I've let it sit for a little while, I'm just going to take a clean, either same section of the same cloth or another cloth in general, and buff it off. And again, this just seals this wax. Seals this wire with the wax, and that's it. I'll put this away with the rest of my wire labeled 19 gauge black annealed, and that's it. So that's how I seal black annealed steel wire for jewelry making. So if you have any questions, let me know below and I will try to answer them. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to see more of what I've got going on and any other tips I have. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.